Okay, you're the reason why nothing's changed. And I'm here to explain exactly what I mean and also help you get out of your current position and get into a better situation. Because even though you don't like to admit it, neither do I, nor does anybody else. But even though we don't like to admit it, we constantly end up blaming things on external factors that we have no control over. Even if you say that you actually take action and you don't blame others or you don't blame different circumstances, subconsciously you actually end up doing it. You're showing it with your actions. Let me explain what I mean by this. Essentially, we always kind of tell ourselves different things than what we actually end up doing. So it's not really about what we tell ourselves, but more so about the actions that we take. Because if you say to yourself, oh, no, I'm not going to blame it on the weather, but you don't end up going to the gym because it's raining outside and you don't feel like going out, you still haven't gone to the gym. So even though you're saying, no, it's not because of the weather, you didn't end up going to the gym and you showed it with your actions. So you're pretty much like actually blaming it on external factors, even though you don't like to admit it because we do it subconsciously. But when it comes to business, when it comes to different things, I am here to kind of help you because I've been in that situation myself. So that's the reason why I want to make this video specifically for you so you can get into a better situation. Here's the thing, we end up blaming it on external factors, and we need to be able to rewire our mind in some sort of way to stop doing this and actually start taking responsibility of our situation. Because blaming things on external circumstances, things you have no control over, isn't going to get you anywhere. The only place it's going to get you is going to be in the same exact spot you're currently in right now. So nothing's really going to change until you decide to change something with your actions, right? So when it comes to blaming different things, when it comes to your actions, you need to have them correlated. You can't start saying that you're not blaming it on external factors, but your actions show otherwise, or even vice versa. You can't actually do the right things, but then blame things on external factors, right? It doesn't work that way. So you have to understand that these things need alignment if you want change. But here's the thing, most of us, and this is probably you as well, you don't realize that you're blaming things on external factors and things outside of your control. So, the way to rewire this and to realize how to actually do things properly moving forward is to start doing things that are inside of your control. Because if you genuinely ask yourself, have you tried and done everything you possibly could have to get to where you want to be? Like genuinely. Let's say you want to get your first client, or you want to have a business, you want to get your first client, and you still 2 months in have yet to even gotten your first client. Can you genuinely say, "Oh, I've tried everything in my power to get my first client"? Probably not, because you haven't done the cold outreach. You haven't gotten your hands dirty. You haven't actually done what you were supposed to do. Why didn't you? Oh, well, because cold outreach doesn't work, or because, oh, I haven't set up my website, or because these are all, again, things outside of your control. Why are you blaming things on stuff you have no control over? Do the things that you have control over, and you'll be surprised by the results, because the things you have control over are actually the things that control your results. Because yeah, things outside of your control will definitely impact the way things are done. But if you combine that with not even doing what you're supposed to with the things you have control over, you basically just made the worst combination you could have. And that's exactly why you haven't gotten your results. Because if you genuinely do what's inside of your control and you combine that with outside circumstances that can push you even in the right direction or the wrong direction, you still will see some results because you've done everything in your power to actually do so. So you won't realize this until you actually start doing the things that are inside of your control. So instead of focusing on things outside of your control, ask yourself moving forward, when you're doing something or blaming something or answering why you haven't gotten where you wanted to go, ask yourself, have you done everything in your power and in your control to do so? or is it something that is actually external, right? Because again, let's just use the example that we used earlier with getting a first client, doing cold outreach, whatever. If you have like actually reached out to 100 businesses and you still don't have any clients, it's like, okay, you've actually done something that is in your control. Why are things working? So, whenever you want a result, right, you want to change your current situation. So, let's say you're stuck in a room doing nonsense all day, procrastinating, not being able to take action. Ask yourself, why haven't you done anything? Ask yourself that question and then look at your answer. If you answer something like, oh, it's because of the food I'm eating, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that, it's like, okay, what about those things that I just mentioned are in my control? Because you'll be surprised how much you actually have control over it in life. Even when I caught myself the other day actually doing this, and I was like, "Well, yo, why haven't I been as productive recently?" And then I said, "Oh, it's probably because of the weather. Because right now I'm in Europe, and it's cold as shit outside." So I was like, usually I'm in some sunny area where the weather's nice. I feel way more productive. It's fun to be outside. I feel good. Mood's amazing. I can just get straight to work, right? And now when I'm in a country where it's actually cold, I'm telling myself, oh, I feel less productive because of the weather. But I'll be honest with you, the weather is not the problem. Even though it might really be because of the weather, I have control over that to change my location if I fucking wanted to. So I can go to a sunny place. That's why I'm fucking going on Friday in a couple days to a sunny place to be more productive because I'm taking action on things I actually have control over. Even though I feel like the weather is slowing me down, I do something about it because I started blaming it on the weather. But in reality, it is actually me that has control over, or I have control over my environment. So go and fucking change it. It's not the weather's fault. It's my fault for being here. So take control over the things you can't take control over because that's what's going to move the needle forward. The reason why nothing's changed is because you don't decide to actually change anything about your situation. That's why you're stuck, dude. Like, just mind blowing, right? But just genuinely think about it. Nothing's going to change until something changes. And once things change, that only happens with action. Change doesn't happen in a standstill, right? Then it's just going to be the same thing. So, the trick to actually start doing things when it comes to your actions is to start taking actions on things you have control over. The small things, start small and then build it up, right? If you only have control over making your bed in the morning and you're still not doing it, go and make your fucking bed. Even though it sounds corny, even though it's stupid as hell, it's not actually stupid, but even though it sounds stupid, that's what you have to do. Things like that are super, super crucial for you to actually do what you're supposed to do, right? Getting the results that you want. So make your fucking bed, start off with that, and then you build the momentum from there. All you really need when it comes to taking action is just a little bit of momentum. So start with the small things that you genuinely have control over, and you'll be surprised about the results you get. Okay? Hope that helps. Catch you guys next time. Take care.